You look at the Dodgers and you know what? Actually, yeah, we can spend a little bit of time talking about this too on the We Know Ball show, because it's an issue that's specific to baseball at the moment, but it's also an issue that's surfaced in all kinds of sports across all realms. And it has an impact on more than I think just the team itself, but talking specifically about the Dodgers as a team. They're already dealing with injuries with Tony Gonsolin, who is done for this year and will not pitch this year and probably next year. You have Dustin May, who got his second arm surgery. He's done. You have an aging Clayton Kershaw, who I will give credit to, has performed at an extremely high level this year, but we all know how he performs in the playoffs, and relying on a 35, 36-year-old Clayton Kershaw with not much to back it up in the rotation is not exactly a recipe for success. And then the Dodgers have Walker Buehler coming back from what is his second Tommy John. Who knows if he'll be even close to fully ramped up when it comes time to play some postseason baseball. Yeah, you know, he may be able to come in, give you 3 innings as a start, 4 innings potentially, but ultimately, again, a wild card. And then you have what I consider, it's honestly, it's hard to talk about just because, well, there's a lot of reasons, but you also have this situation with the LA Dodgers and specifically Julio Urias, who is now dealing with a second incident of domestic violence. It's hard to say everybody deserves a second chance because, of course, that only applies to situations and mistakes and decisions that aren't entirely detrimental to the health of other human beings. And once is an accident, twice is a pattern. And that is the case with Julio Urias. Now, did he, permanently injure whoever his domestic partner is? And, is it murder? Is it all these terrible things? No, it's not, right? Perspective. But what it is a pattern from Julio Urias of really just disturbing behavior. And what it shows, I think more than anything, is that some people have default settings or behaviors that they fall back on when they're faced with situations of adversity or disagreement or increased emotion, right? Some people, when they get into a fight with their spouse or their significant other, they curl up in a ball, they shut down, they want nothing but space. They don't want to be talked to for a long time. Some people, they start yelling. Some people gaslight, right? All these different words and all these different scenarios are things that you could talk about in conflict resolution. Those are people's default behaviors that they fall back on when they're faced with those types of altercations. Julio Urias' default behavior is violence. And when it's not just violence, but it's violence against a female significant other in your household, there is no place for anybody like that in professional sports, especially when it's a second and third situation. There's no place for somebody like that to have that type of default mechanism and default behavior of violence to be a representative or even a member of a league or an organization that people watch and go to enjoy the entertainment value and look up to some of these athletes and entertainers. So if I was Major League Baseball, of course, investigation pending, and it's not guilty until proven innocent. However, there's also a track record already in place. And if it comes out that Julio Urias committed the same sort of violation that he did last time when he received a 20-game suspension or worse, just get rid of him. Get him out of the league. He's gone. He's gone. If Trevor Bauer got over a full season suspension worth of games, and this is a number 2 violation for Julio Urias, get him out. I don't want to see him on a mound ever again. I don't want to see him pitching in the major leagues ever again. And you know what? I don't even feel a smidgen bad for him, and I never will feel a smidgen bad for somebody like him or somebody that goes through what he is currently going through. Because every single day in your life, you're faced with a choice. You're faced with an opportunity to react to every situation that's presented to you. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case may be. And everybody has an opportunity to choose the better of all the choices, or at least not the worst choice. And even more so, when you're a person of power or a person of of what's the word I'm looking for? When you're a person of power, or you're a person of high influence, or you're a person of high income, you're able to gain access and perspective on a lot of things that some people don't have perspective on. And you're able to take a step back most of the time and recognize, wow, I have a lot more to lose than other people do. So even if, man, my first instinct is to jump towards something violent, gonna have to make some self-control decisions and realize and recognize there are 5 million other people that are more than capable of doing what I do on a daily basis, as whether an athlete, an actor, whatever the case may be. As a person of influence, there are millions and millions of other people that are capable of and would love to be doing what I do for a living. So instead of abusing my situation or lacking any perspective at all, any self-control, any sort of personal guidance, utilizing the resources around me, I'm just going to divert back to my roots and just instantly become violent. It's despicable. And it's honestly confusing, but more so, it's just gross. And if I was Major League Baseball, I would make sure with all my power and all my might that Julio Urias never steps on the mound of a Major League Baseball game again. Because what does that say about us as an organization if we're Major League Baseball, or if we're the LA Dodgers, or if we're another team in Major League Baseball? Oh, Julio Urias, isn't that the guy that sucker punched his wife twice, or choked his wife, or did all these terrible things to his significant other? It's negative PR, it's bad for the league, and it shows, oh, well, as a league, we don't really care if you break the law or violate our domestic violence guidelines or whatever the case is. We don't care what you do. So I hope Major League Baseball does something about it, because Julio Urias getting arrested and discharged with domestic violence stuff again. This is now the second time he's gotten into a domestic violence sort of legal trouble. It's just gross. It's like, just get him out. Just get him out. Get him out.